25 years ago as I was visiting a city in what we refer to as India's capital, Delhi. And as I was walking, I saw a lot of people just sitting on the sidewalk and begging for money. So I thought, isn't this the capital city? Aren't people supposed to have better means of earning and resources? Due to this, I've been thinking about how I and many others can influence the world to eradicate poverty. To eradicate poverty, we first have to think about how poverty has begun in this world. So basically, the genealogy of poverty. You might not realize it, but poverty has recently erupted around the world in two main ways. One is climate change, and the other one is the COVID-19 pandemic. Weather and climate change can affect the global crisis on poverty. Climate events like floods, storms, and earthquakes leave millions of people facing severe hunger. Droughts can affect on how much a community, not a person, a community eats. Climate change threatens agriculture and food security, as many of the world's poorest populations rely only on farming and hunting. So, if we do nothing about climate change, it will become the #1 cause of poverty, conflict, and refugees. Climate change threatens the cleanliness of our air, depletes our water, and limits our food supply. It forces people from their homes and pushes them into poverty. Tens of millions of people are expected to be forced from their homes in the next decade as a result of climate change. This is the biggest refugee crisis the world has ever seen. In addition, for the last 2 years, we have suffered millions of losses. The current global COVID-19 pandemic has left global economies with high unemployment and disruptions in the education and health sectors. Due to this, people can't earn the money they need to have access to the basic needs. So now that we know the genealogy of poverty, what do we do about it? Well, let me tell you that the path to eradicating poverty is very complex. So you can't just end poverty in one night, can you? We might just be focusing on the wrong thing. If we're always thinking that if I give the poor money, then we can solve and end poverty for once and for all. No, that's not a solution to poverty. That's not a reasonable target. Like I said, you can't end poverty overnight. It takes intense planning, influencing, and support to make that big of a dream actually come true. So, we just have to solve poverty step by step. Ecosystems support all life on Earth. The healthier our ecosystems, the healthier the planet and its people. Therefore, we must renew, reuse, and recycle energy to help stop climate change. It can end poverty, but we will need everybody to dedicate their action towards this goal. The COVID pandemic has affected poverty a ton in the last few years, and the only way for any government to ensure a durable economic recovery is to invest and collaborate efforts to vaccinate the world, establish global partnerships, and empower the future by building a greener and a more resilient tomorrow. So you might be wondering, what do we do with all this information? Well, I expect all of you to spread the word that poverty is already a big thing in this world, and if we don't act, it will get worse and could have a catastrophic ending. So, we need to spread the word before this big chain reaction happens. Humanity has to work together to solve climate change. People have to collaborate to help end COVID. So, in conclusion, I suggest that we all stand together to defeat poverty for once and for all. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I shall end with a speech from former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. Poverty is an old enemy with many faces. Defeating it will require many actors to work together. So let's work together and defeat poverty.